So, Buzz, you talked after the Villanova game about this bye week would be valuable for you guys because you can kind of get back to doing you. You know, what was this week like? Was it productive, and what did you guys all do?
I think it was good. On Sunday, we watched a little bit of tape. On Monday, they did individual workouts. Tuesday, we did some community service. Wednesday, we worked out together, normal practice. Thursday was normal practice. So it's been good I don't know that we've got in a rhythm, but we haven't had to spend our time preparing for an opponent, and I think that that's been healthy.
Was there anything in these practices that you were really focusing on, anything that was concerning to you coming out of that game and the stretch of games that you had played?
Well, I think that we have to guard the ball better. In general, we have to guard the bounce better. And I think if we can guard the bounce better, we'll do a better job of keeping the ball out of the paint. Teams are shooting too high of a field goal percentage in the paint, and that's not necessarily because we're small. It's because the ball's getting there not only by the pass but also by the bounce.
Just talk about how you and Providence match up. I mean, of all the games, the Big East games, when you look at Providence and you look at Marquette, evenly matched, or do you know?
They play a unique style. They have 9 new players, and they're all doing really well. And of those 9 new players, 2 of them redshirted at their place last year. Both of them have had a dramatic impact on their team. Their 2 returning players are both really good. We can probably talk to them right now. There they are. What's up, Johnny? I think that there are some similarities. They play really fast. They don't look like it, but they're 3rd in the country in offensive rebounds. A lot of that is because they take long shots, shoot a lot of threes, which equal a lot of long rebounds. So they've had a lot of success in how they play, and I think having those returning guys along with the guys that they redshirted last year, they've played really well this far.
So you mentioned Johnny Lacey. I mean, what do you know about a lot of?
I think he's a great kid. Of course, I was a little behind by the time I got the job, but he's a good kid. He's doing really well. Played really good in prep school, and he fits how they play perfectly.
You know, this question will probably be asked anyway, but what do you remember about the Providence game last year?
That I had a 105-degree fever, that I couldn't stand on my own 2 feet, that I didn't take a shower or shave before the game, that I laid in the bed from the time I got in my hotel room until the time 15 minutes before Audrey said the bus was leaving, and I put my suit on and went straight to the game. I was completely spent. How they play, you know, Louisville started out 14-0 on them, and then Providence brought it back and was ahead before halftime was over. It's just, you're never in the game and you're never out of the game because of how they play. And we played 4 conference games in a row and had won all of them. And I thought, you know, hey, let's see how we do. And it looked like it was about over. And then Czar made some threes and we kind of came back to life. And it was an exciting win. But I remember feeling as bad as I've ever felt as a human being.
And of course, you glossed over the one thing I wanted you to mention was the Xavier thing. I mean, was that still one of the craziest things you've ever seen?
I'm afraid he might show up on Sunday. I was really scared, to be honest with you. I know it was kind of funny maybe a couple of days later. I probably didn't handle it well, and I think I told you that after the game with the officials. You know, that something like that can be really, really dangerous. And, you know, we had about 6 guys that could play, and 5 of them were on the floor, and I didn't want anything to happen. I didn't handle it very well, and I don't want to get into how another team or program or institution should manage their facility, but, yeah, that wasn't funny to me.
So looking at the positives now, backtrack a little bit here, but what have you been happy with, most happy with? Guys have been playing?
Our effort. I think our guys are playing their hearts out. I think that they're competing every single possession. I don't think that we're necessarily as efficient as we need to be all the time, but it's never been because of their effort or their heart. I think that they've been on the same page, all of them, relative to that. Whether they play or not, they all care for one another, and they're all trying their absolute hardest.
It's no secret that you guys have played some of the toughest teams in the country and played them really, really well, but you just, on a couple of them, haven't been able to get over that hump by the time the game is over. From a human standpoint, how frustrating is that as a coach?
Well, as a human or as a coach?
Both.
I try to do both of them as the same. We've lost 6 games. 5 of those games have been against top 15 opponents, and we got beat by Florida State by 1. You remember how many we got beat by Wisconsin? Gods?
7.
Was it 7?
9 each. 9.
9.
72-63.
72-63, so that's 9, so that's 10 points. And then we've lost Villanova at Villanova by 2, at West Virginia 1, Villanova at home 2. So that's 14 points, 5 losses by 14 points. Is that right? Is that the correct math? And all 5 of those opponents have been top 15 teams. We were up 11 at half against North Carolina State. Ended up getting beat by 4, I think. Getting beat by 4. I think that we have a very small margin, and I don't like always having to say that, but that's what I believe. And I think that we have to figure out ways through scouting report, things of that nature, to find a possession or two that can get us a basket and or stop a basket from being made. And when you come that close that often, it tells you that you're on the right track, but it also tells you that you're not quite there yet. And so as a human and as a coach, the only thing I've ever known in life is if you're hungry, you got to figure out how to eat. And I've never been given any food before, so you got to figure out how to eat. And that's all I know to do. And maybe coaches that have won a lot more games than I have and done it for a lot longer period of time, as a coach, they may have a different answer. And as a human, if you've always had food to eat, maybe you don't know what it's like to be hungry. But that's all I know as a coach and as a human. And I really want to be more as a human than I do as a coach. It just so happens I get paid to be a coach. But I'm more concerned with who these young men turn out to be 10 and 15 years later as a human. And I would give them the same advice 10 or 15 years from now when something goes wrong in their life. If you're hungry, you got to figure out how to eat. And that's all I know. That's all I know.
You know about Providence?
Right now, so far, we're just doing our same routine, going through practice and film and everything, and just really trying to just get ready for this next game and capitalize on all of our mistakes from our past games and just keep continuing to try and get another win.
Do you feel like, this is one of those winnable games? I mean, listen, a lot of people, I think, are expecting you guys to be Providence.
Yeah, I mean, but, you can't underestimate any of the teams in the Big East, so right now we're all just concentrating and just trying to just stick to what we know and playing hard and just still capitalizing on all of our mistakes through watching film and listening to Buzz and practice and the rest of the staff.
How frustrating is it to come so close against so many elite teams, but not being able to get over the hump and getting that win?
I mean, it's real frustrating because we work so hard and we try to play every possession to the fullest. And when you come up short like that, I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking. But at the same time, that's what we're practicing for. To keep capitalizing on those mistakes. So we can't get win.
I know you guys are working this week, but you got a little bit of week-to-week games. How good is that for you guys to focus in on you, so to speak?
It's good because we let our bodies get our rest and everything, and mentally get a break. But at the same time, Buzz and everybody on our in the program is real big on. We don't really take that many days off. Even if we do have off day, we're going to still do something related to our next game or our next practice or next workout. So it helps, but then the next day, we just got to get right back after.
What was the focus this week in the practices that you had? Was there anything you guys were really kind of focusing in on improving and getting better at?
Same thing as it is every game, defense and playing hard every single possession. Don't take any possessions off, playing the full 40 minutes.
When did you get the green light to shoot the three?
Green light, I wouldn't necessarily say that I've always had the green light, but if I'm wide open, I'm gonna shoot it.
Was it like you knocked those first two down, and you're like, all right?
I mean, I was wide open, so I mean, I'm gonna take what they give me on a situation like that. So yeah, I was open.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
You saw Jimmy knocking them down, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we all can. We're all offensively capable of scoring. We're real good, but just in a situation like that, if you open, Buzz ain't gonna tell you not to shoot it.
Even use?
No, I'll take that back. I don't know. I don't know about no three. About a three, but consistently, if you're doing that in practice, or if he knows that you can shoot it, then yeah, you got the green light to fill it. That type of shot.
All right.
You ever want to put him on the line in practice and say, see what you got?
Oh, all the time. Buzz already knows he can't beat me, but he tries to tell me he can. He knows he can.